My name is Majid Hussain. I'm from Manchester in the UK. I've been diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, which is a genetic eye disorder, and I am quite late stages in that disorder, in that before I came to see Dr. Yu about a year ago, I was almost blind. I would say I had about 5% vision. In my career, I initially qualified as a lawyer and practiced as a lawyer for 10 years. I then became chief executive of a paper manufacturing business, which I led to a public offering earlier this year. I heard about Dr. Yu from another patient who had visited Dr. Yu's clinic. I met with that patient and I was over here about a week later. I would say that my condition is such now that I have seen some improvement. If I was at 5 or 10% vision before, it's probably improved by 10 or 15%. I can now see shadows, I can identify large objects, and in familiar settings I can get about on my own. In fact, earlier today I went downtown Vancouver and managed to walk around unassisted for about 5 minutes and without an accident. So I'm quite pleased. I've got to a stage where there is some independence, and if I keep progressing like I have done over the last year, I'm confident I may even be driving in a few years' time. So I initially learned about Dr. Yu on the internet about 4 years ago, and at the time I dismissed it along with other things I had seen on the internet. But about a year earlier I met Shiraz, who had brought his son here for treatment for the same condition, and I met him through a mutual friend. He invited me to his home. I went to see him and his son, and I was very surprised with the progress that his son had made. Having met his son, I rang Dr. Yu and I was here the following week. Before I met Dr. Yu, I knew very little about Chinese medicine. I'd met people who had received acupuncture treatment, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that it can affect a genetic condition affecting eyesight. But having experienced the treatment myself, I can feel it working, I can see it working, and in fact, having started the treatment, I read up on acupuncture on Audible books, and I've started learning more about it. And my view is now very philosophical, in that Chinese treatment has been around for thousands of years, and when we have Western treatment, a lot of the sources are very similar. So a lot of Western medicine is made from natural herbs, which Chinese medicine is based upon. And as far as acupuncture goes, all I can say is I receive the treatment and I can actually feel the changes that it brings. So for me, it definitely works. You know, Dr. Yu is a very personable person. He is very patient-friendly. He makes you feel very comfortable with the condition that you have, and he's very encouraging. The environment in Dr. Yu's clinic is unlike I have seen anywhere else, and I've travelled around the world over the years. It's a very comfortable, friendly, personable environment, and Dr. Yu makes you feel very comfortable with the condition that you have. I've met many Western medicine consultants looking for a cure for my condition, and you get a very impersonable response, which is they are working on treatments. It could be 4 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. Dr. Yu understands the condition and makes you feel comfortable with it, and that's very important.